open. Like, we are about to talk about some serious shit that happened on the right. Oh, why is it staticky like that? I don't like that. Anyway, we're gonna talk about Justin Mohn, or Mohn. So, Justin Mohn, right-wing nut job. Yeah, I do. So, Justin Mohn, a right-wing individual, his father is a federal employee. His father is a federal employee. I can't remember the father's name off the top of my head because it's just happened. This literally is breaking news. 15 hours ago from CNN, there was coverage. Panera Bread, Abraham, Abe. I don't know which you prefer to be called. Yeah, it's about to be very serious in here. If you are not okay with serious topics, please make your way on out because we are going to take this as seriously as possible. A man died the other day for no reason. For literally no reason. It's fun to listen in. And Justin Mohn, right? He was a right-wing figure, I guess, for the short time that he was, who ranted, woke mob, blah blah blah, right? It's same as any other right-winger. The thing that made him different, we're gonna get to that. Justin Mohn, right-winger, uploads a YouTube video that gets taken down hours later, in which he rants about the woke mob, grabs a bag with his father's decapitated head, and says he was a traitor. This is... Yes. He decapitated his fucking dad, put his head in a bag, and showed it on a YouTube video that was taken down hours later. I'm warning you guys, if this is how far the right is going, yes. You heard me correctly. This is not okay. Wonder if this is on Reddit? It's everywhere. This is breaking news. It happened literally the other day. I didn't realize he decapitated. I thought he just killed. No, his head was in a fucking bag that he showed on the YouTube video. We're gonna watch CNN coverage now, just so you guys can.
Since moving to Texas, I've learned that Texans love ordering food with favor.
Really? Wow, guys, favor. Anyway.
Evening, YouTube show the head of his.
Sorry.
We do have breaking news just into CNN. We want to warn you, this is very disturbing. A Pennsylvania man was charged with murder and abuse of a corpse after police say he posted a YouTube video in which he claims to show his father's decapitated head while ranting about the Biden administration and the border crisis. Now, this video circulated online for hours before being taken down. The father of the individual was a federal employee. His son called him a traitor. With us now, former FBI Deputy Director and CNN Senior Law Enforcement Analyst Andrew McCabe and CNN.
So, we're going to get into it further, but I do want to say this is perfect representation of what is going on right now on the right. His father was a federal employee who was fucking murdered for being a federal employee. I don't even think federal employees might even be right-wing. Who knows? He just really got mad at Biden and border crisis, blah, 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 and let that fester into a unquenchable rage. And he murdered a man for it. I never want anyone in this chat room to let this shit get lived down, because this shit happens so often on the right where an act of disgusting violence occurs. And they justify it when it first comes out as a story, or calls it a psyop when it's confirmed that it's real and that they're a target. See, for example, that the Nazi shooter, that one Texas shooter, or I can't remember actually who it was. It was some shooter that put Tim Pool in his manifesto, and Tim Pool then said, like, oh, this seems fake to me. Seems fake. Why would he have my name in there? Seems like it's just like an attack from the left, which is stupid. This is what rage does. People change. Everyone is really different, and handle things different. Yeah. But I never want anyone in my chat to let the right live this down, because a man was murdered. Decapitated. and his head was played with in a little fucking bag on a YouTube video about how the woke mob is ruining society. I never want this to be lived down. All right, you hold these fuckers to accountability on this shit. All right. Anytime you talk to right winger, you immediately are you gonna be the psycho who cut off his dad's head like that one guy? That's the first thing I want you all to bring up every fucking time. Every time. I don't care. This is some serious shit.
It's Danny Freeman. Danny, I want to start with you. This is breaking right now. What more do we know about what actually happened here?
Yeah, Phil, and just to state the obvious, obviously, as you said, this is an incredibly disturbing story. I watched part of this video last night, and it's one of those things that it's an image you just can't get out of your head. Yesterday, this is when this all started, this video was posted on YouTube. The suspect here is Justin Mohn. He's 32 years old. He's from Middletown Township in Pennsylvania. That's in Bucks County. And as you said, this video contains a number of rantings basically about the Biden administration, about the border, at one point even declaring himself the acting president under martial law. But then there's this horrific moment when he appears to show the head of his deceased father on camera, saying that his father was a traitor to the country because he was a federal employee. Now, that video, like you said, Phil, stayed up for a long time. Eventually, later into the evening, YouTube was able to take it down. Even X seemed to be taking down videos that people were just reposting and
So I remind you, this is what happens when you jump down right-wing conspiracy fucking nut job cases. Like, this shit turns you into one of the nut jobs. It starts simple. It's a rabbit hole. So it always starts simple, right? You start with the woke mob is ruining society or whatever, right? You start with ew, trans people. Then you go down to ew, immigrants. Then you go down to ew, black people are violent criminals. Then you jump into 9/11 was fake and the government's lying and now we're gonna fucking murder people who don't agree with us. These are fascists, chat. These are Nazis. I will not stand here and say otherwise. These are fucking Nazis. And they will not get away with it. Yeah, Nesio makes 9/11 jokes, whatever. he knows unironically, like when you ask him straight up, like, hey, jokes aside, do you think 9/11 was like a conspiracy? He'll say no. It to themselves with very bad foreign policy planning. Ban a little harder on the commies and give them unrestricted access to our weapons and munitions and our utilities until they got rid of commies, because we really just didn't like communism. And then what did they do? They branched off and formed Al-Qaeda and flew a fucking plane into a building. Actually, 3 planes into 3 buildings. One of them used it as a justification to commit atrocities overseas. Now, I'm gonna say it again, just to remind y'all, never, and I mean never, allow these people to get away with this shit. They are Nazis. Before anything else, they are Nazis. And I will not accept any other definition for what they are. Yeah, alright, cool. He won't get the death sentence, will he? I'm not a firm believer in capital punishment, but he does deserve to be imprisoned. I'm not a big believer in capital punishment. I'm a reformationist. I think anybody can be reformed through the prison system if done right. The way that we have seen in Swedish prisons that look like goddamn 5-star hotels because they want rehabilitation to be their priority. Because you lock someone up like an animal, they're gonna act like an animal, is how I see it. I think there is precedent here for him to get a very long sentencing. Right? He's not gonna get away with this shit, right? Like, he decapitated his father, a federal employee. No, not just any man. A federal employee's head. Y'all keep forgetting that. That man was a federal employee. That man was a Fed. You can't play with the Fed's headless corpse on stream or on a YouTube video and get away with it. That man was a Fed. Anyway, moving on.
But then in the evening, police were able to apprehend Mr. Mohn about 100 miles away from his home in Bucks County in Fort Indiantown Gap in Pennsylvania. Again, that's 100 miles to the west of where he was and where this crime is alleged to have been committed. Now, I will say, just to give you a sample of one of the things that Mr. Mohn said, I'm quoting here from the video, he said in part, "The federal government of America has declared war on its citizens and the American states. America is rotting from the inside out as far-left woke mobs rampage our once prosperous city." Now, Phil, the thing that law enforcement are trying to make clear at this moment is that this suspect is in custody. The threat to the larger community is over right now, but truly a community on edge, you can imagine, after hearing this news. We're going to hear a press conference from the Bucks County District Attorney later on today on this subject.
Andy, this video it references President Biden. It was up on YouTube, as I understand it, for several hours before it was taken down. Talk about the bigger picture here, if you could.
Sure. Yeah. So the bigger picture is extremely concerning, I think, as do most security officials, as we go into what will be an incredibly heated political season. You know, obviously this guy, we don't know. We're waiting on additional facts from the investigation to understand his specific motives. You can make some assumption.
Yeah, I was about to say, he better say something along the lines of, "We can assume," based on, like, because there's no way someone says the woke mob and then decapitates his father without it being politically motivated. Like, this is... When I said today's stream is going to be serious, I meant it. Right? This is absolutely abhorrent behavior, and I'm going to wait for every single fucking Nazi who rants about the woke mob to denounce this motherfucker or claim PSYOP, and it's gonna fucking enrage me when they do. Which is why I keep telling you, yes, this is cruel. It's actually decent lyrics. Damn. Look. I am serious when I tell you guys, half of them are dumb as fuck, but the rest are alright. Yeah. Well, rap lyrics can be dumb, you know what I mean? Eminem had a song about, like, how some fat bitch tried to fuck him to death. Like, those are just things that happen in rap. They can be goofy as shit. Right? Hell, one of Eminem's most famous lyrics is "Shove a gerbil in your ass through a tube." Like, do y'all not know Eminem like that? I do. Shove a gerbil in your ass through a tube. Eminem flipped off the Taylor Swift concert. Oh, nice. Great. Whatever. We're getting off topic. I can rhyme orange with the banana. Oh yeah, I can rhyme orange with the banana. I can make orange rhyme with banana. Or nana. Eating pork rinds, sword fighting in pajamas. At the crib playing Fortnite with your grandma. Anyway, we do need to stop. Like, I'm unironically, I don't care about Fortnite right now. I unironically need to tell you guys, before we keep getting off topic, do not let them get away with this. Alright? I want you, all of you, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Twitch, I want you to be an uproar about this. Is he getting charged with aggravated assault too? No, I'm assuming he'd get charged with first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. No. I want you to hold these fuckers accountable, because the only way this shit festers is stochastic terrorism. If you don't know, stochastic terrorism is when you, yeah, murder of a federal officer. That might work, right? Of a federal employee. Oh yeah. No, okay, it's all good. But I mean, like, seriously, the stochastic terrorism, for those who don't know, is basically when you use rhetoric to inform the public of some danger, and then they go out and commit violence on behalf of whoever brought it up. No, I thought the way first degree worked was like that you did it, but third degree, murder three maybe. I'd have to like familiarize myself with the difference, with the distinctions between murder one, two, and three, but like it's because I don't really study criminology or any of that too hard. Like I don't even study it. In fact, I'm like I said, I'm a gamer first. Premeditated with the full plan. Okay, yeah. In that case, I would consider it at the very least murder two, and not murder three, because maybe he might have had motive, but I'd assume this could also be considered like a heat of the moment, like they got into an argument and he fucking killed him, and then used his head on stream as like a, this is what'll happen if you join the woke mob thing. Because again, the reason I want you guys so thoroughly to call these people out is because right wingers have been ranting about a civil war for years now. Oh wait, crime of passion would be one. So for all I know, this could be like any of them. We'd have to really like find evidence of a plan if that's the case. But definitely one of the three types of murder. One of the three types of murder, it would be the abuse of a corpse. It would be a lot of shit, but I need to get on topic again. I say first degree, yeah. That's what I said originally, because there's no like proof of a planning beforehand. It was kind of just like we saw his head on a YouTube video. I'd say second degree, if anything, because he did also decapitate his father. So there's at least enough going through his head to where he decapitated his father. But this is the prime example of stochastic terrorism. We get people talking about the woke mob and how dangerous they are to society. Right? With no real solution offered. And I don't know. Wasn't there a video about a guy who shot himself? Yeah, again, we are getting off topic. I need to get you guys to understand the concept of stochastic terrorism. What these motherfuckers love to, that'd be just memory of course, abstract decision, not premeditated. Fine, fair enough. This motherfucker, these motherfuckers, what they do is they talk to you about some like big issue, right? The hot button issue of the week. Okay, back on top for, yeah. Okay, they talk about this hot button issue, this thing that's destroying society, right? Wokeness or whatever. Whatever you want to say is the rotating villain of the week. And they get you to say how disgusting this is and how dangerous it is to society. But the moment you ask them for a solution to the problem, it's I don't know. Which pushes a lot of people onto forums where they find out the solution is if you'll excuse the Nazi jokes here, a final solution. No. It's not brainwashing. It's leading you to a conclusion without outright saying it. It's more of like a dog whistling tactic. Where they basically say, I don't know, what do you want to do to solve this problem? No, it's like an, I don't know, guys. This wokeness is a real issue, but I'm not going to tell you how to solve it. You're going to have to look online to figure out how to solve it. We can tell you day in and day out why this is a problem, but we're not going to offer a solution, because if we offered a solution, we'd get banned off our platforms. But if you go on some 4chan board and see some guy talking about getting the gallows ready, there's nothing we can do to prevent that, right? Geez, and if some of you guys go out there and commit violence on our behalf, geez, we had nothing to do with it. We had nothing to do with it, guys. It wasn't our fault that we talked about it constantly and said how much of a threat to our society it was, while offering no solutions to the problem. It's stochastic terrorism. Do not forget what they did here. I will say it again and again and again. No matter what the sentencing is, no matter what the right tries to tell you in defense of this, everyone who has ever said anything about being anti-woke is now on my list. No, they are now on my fucking list of people who need to be held accountable for their rhetoric. Alright? If you ranted about wokeness without offering real solutions, you are a terrorist, a threat to American society, and you deserve to be put in prison right next to that motherfucker. Alright? Right next to him. You belong in fact, you belong in the same cell. Right there next to him. That's all I'm gonna say on what they deserve, because I don't think anyone deserves to die here. I like freedom. Taking away people's freedom to live is abhorrent. Do not go out there and harm anybody. I just want you to hold them to accountability, whether it's ranting in their comment sections about how they're terrorists and how they deserve penalties in prison and deserve to lose all of their money. Sure, go ahead. But the moment you start resorting to violence, I will consider you an abhorrent creature who deserves to go alongside him as well. So I will say that because unlike these fucking freaks on the right, I am responsible enough for my rhetoric to say that violence, political violence at the very least, is only okay under revolutionary circumstances if we are trying to bring about a proletarian state. And this is not even going to happen in our lifetime, so it doesn't matter. A proletarian state will not happen in the 2000s, right? Or in the 2000s. Probably not even in the 2100s, right? When we get to the year 2100, it probably won't be, right? But I will say, political violence, I am only going to ever advocate for in terms of when there's a fascist civil war and you need to defend yourself, or if there is a moment in time where you can join the revolution. Not even penalty, do you just give them life? I couldn't really read that. Life sentence? Yeah, life sentences sound great for anyone who commits acts of terrorism like this. Because Ben Shapiro is on my list now. Thankfully, we brought him up in his cringe little rap about, like, oh, go woke, go broke, or whatever. I have Tom McDonald on the list. I have, what's the name of the guy who made Try That in a Small Town, you know? All of these people who have ranted about wokeness or whatever, I now want to see in federal prison for stochastic terrorism. I want them in prison. Life sentence does mean 25 years for these old fucks, I agree, but I am going to say again, I am only okay with political violence in self-defense, acts of revolution for the benefit of the proletariat, but never stochastic terrorism. Do not commit any acts of violence against right-wingers currently. It is not praxis. Praxis would be to, only engage in violence during a workers' revolt against the bourgeois. And to everyone in my community, on YouTube, on Twitch, to anybody who I don't even know yet, to anyone just barely finding out who I am, I want you to stay safe out there, alright? Because if that man is willing to murder his father, he is willing, many others are willing to murder someone who isn't their father. Alright? Take any precautions needed. Maybe if you're straight passing enough, if you're cis passing enough, if you're white passing enough, thankfully, you should be fine, like myself, because I am a cis-het white dude. But I just want y'all to stay safe out there, alright? Please. For my sake, I don't want anyone getting hurt. Yeah, you gotta go shower. Thank you, Abby. I want you to stay safe too, Abby. Anyone who's even remotely left-leaning is in danger right now. And that's... I just want y'all to stay safe. Alright? Like, I don't care if you have to, like... How do I put this? I don't care if you have to, like, avoid any places that could be considered woke, I guess, for a bit. I don't, like, just do what you have to do, because I don't want anyone to be harmed by freaks of this nature. Because we are going to see an uptick in this violence. I have a feeling we are going to see an uptick, because where there is one freak who only denounces the acts of violence, there are hundreds of other freaks in these online chats saying like, hell yeah, he did it, pro America, let's go, decapitate another. We are going to have that for a minute. Alright? It should pass over, but I will say this isn't going to stop here. These freaks are going to go, they aren't going to stop until they think they've won. And I refuse, for one, to let them live. I, for one, refuse to let them win. I like how I almost said refuse to let them live. Live comfortably, we can say, because prison is going to be shit for them. But I can't stress enough how much we need to hold, like, Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh accountable. People like them, who rant about the woke mob all day, all night, with zero evidence behind their shit. And when I say zero evidence, I mean zero empirical evidence. And then they're just like, oh, I don't know what to do about this problem. It's a big problem, though. You should do something about it. These people are terrorists. They are Nazis. They are fascists. They will not stop until every marginalized person is dead. And we need to put them in prison for life. That being said, I'm James with a Z. And, yeah, this is our life now. Stay safe, everyone.